average about 800 square miles. And we're going to cover all 800 of those miles. It was established in 1971 to help protect the local wildlife. Now we do have a couple of quick rules while we wait to head on in, and that's no eating, drinking, or standing. No standing. That includes children beside you or on your lap. They may not stand as well. Now, if you look above your head, there's a game spotting guide up there. Those are some of the animals we will see on our journey. Now, we're about to head into the Little Ituri Forest up ahead. So keep your eyes open on both sides. We'll see what we might find. All right, folks, look over to your right. You're going to see a fellow that looks like he's part zebra. But in fact, that's a distant relative of the giraffe. No zebra whatsoever. It took until 1901 before they were finally discovered. Now, all the way out there, there's also a yellow-backed fellow out there. That's a yellow-backed duiker. Gets his name because he dives headfirst into the brush to avoid detection. As we round the bend, we're going to be on the lookout for some black rhino. We may find some around here, folks. There's only about 5,000 left in all of the world today. They are hunted and killed for their horns. And there he is, taking a little bit of a nap to the left there, folks. Now they can weigh up to 3,000 pounds. They can charge at about 35 miles per hour. Black rhinos tend to be solitary creatures, so you don't see them traveling in pairs very often. Now if you look up there on the hill to our left, you're going to see a yellow-billed stork. That's a male and female up there. They do have a nest. They get their name because they look like they have a little appendage on their bill. Males have brown eyes and females have a ring around their eyes. They can stand up to 5 foot tall with about an 8 to 9 foot wingspan. Now keep your eyes open in the bushes, folks. Animals do like to hide. It's a natural camouflage. You never know what you might find. Speaking of which, if you look out there, you're going to see a small group of greater kudu. Now, the greater kudu are the second tallest antelope in Africa. It can weigh up to 750 pounds. I'm sorry, sweetheart, what did you say? The little boy? And we're also heading up into the Safi River area, where we're going to find some hippos and crocodiles. Now, just a reminder to make sure you stay seated no matter how much you want to stand. Hippos do have the nickname river horse. They do spend their entire day in the water, coming out maybe to sun themselves or to eat. Now, keep your eyes open on the right, but we may see some more up on the left. They will hold their breaths up to 8 minutes at a time, coming up, grabbing a breath of air, and then heading right back down. If you look all the way behind us, folks, you'll see one out of the water, eating a little bit on the side. All the way to the very back, all the way in the very, very back to the back of the truck. Now take a look over here, folks. We have more swimming around in the water. Actually, she's probably going to surface right in a moment. We have another one right down there as well. They are excellent swimmers. Though they prefer to walk when the river's wide, they can swim just about anywhere in the river. They're night grazers. They come out in the evening hours, graze on the river's edge. That one just came up. They'll eat about 150 pounds of food a night. They can weigh anywhere between 3,000 to 5,000 pounds, with the males being the heavier. Now we're about to go across a really cool bridge up ahead. Just a reminder to make sure you do stay seated. You're about to see some very cool reptiles. To the left and the right are the Nile crocodile. Now the Nile crocodile can grow as long as 20 feet and can weigh upwards of 1,500 pounds. They can actually exert 2,000 pounds of pressure with one bite. They can run about 10 miles an hour on land. find a baobab tree up on the right. Now the baobab trees can live several 100,000 years. They can live for quite some time because they store all the water they need in those massive trunks. Now they go without leaves 9 months out of the year, giving the impression its roots are on top, but they're not. Now they can grow as tall as 75 feet and have around a 65-foot circumference. And we are about to come to one of my favorite areas as we enter into the Serengeti grasslands. Now the grasslands are home to many different species of animals. It's a superhighway of migration stretching over several hundred square miles. Now, as you look across that beautiful landscape, the animals actually create the landscape you do see. The elephants will mow down the trees. They'll actually eat those trees. Well, the giraffe will trim up the undersides of the trees, and the little antelope and Thompson gazelles will mow down the grasses and trim up the edges. It's a very effective natural landscape team. It ensures all the animals have plenty of food. This is the wild Africa we're so desperately trying to protect as you look out there, folks. Also, those clay-like structures are termite mounds. Termite mounds are as hard as concrete. They're so hard, in fact, that antelope can use some of them to look out, or use as lookout posts, while others, like the elephants and the giraffe, can use the taller ones as scratching posts. Keep your eyes up in the bushes. Animals do like to hide in the most bizarre places. They use that as a natural camouflage. Many times I've actually seen giraffe up at the top up there, at the top of the hill, eating on some of the trees up there. Cattle up ahead. Those are those animals with the really long horns. This one's about 6 foot in length. It's going to be up here on our right now. They're hollow on the inside. Those horns are actually hollow so that the blood can flow freely through those horns, allowing the animal to stay nice and cool. Now the Ankole cattle, also known as the Watusi cattle, are the only domesticated cattle on the entire reserve, the only domesticated animal. Now, right beside the Ankole cattle, as we round the bend, are going to be white-bearded wildebeest down there. Now, the wildebeest do travel in large migrating groups. In fact, they're the largest group of migrating animals. They have another name, and that is a gnu, spelled G-N-U, for the grunting sound that they make. Now, there's a Maasai giraffe up on this little hill, but up ahead we're going to see some up close. Up here on our left, we have a Maasai giraffe trying to reach something up in the tree there. And right behind them, on the other side of him, is a reticulated giraffe. You can see the difference in their coloring. Giraffe can grow as tall as 20 feet. An adult has 7 vertebrae in their necks. And a baby giraffe at birth can actually look an adult human in the eyes. Now we also have some antelope hiding up around there. Those are Patterson eland. And we have another Maasai giraffe right here on our right. We are coming into Monkey Point. Monkey Point is where we're going to find some mandrill monkeys on the left. There may be an elephant or two right in this area as well, because we are on the outskirts of elephant country, where we see most of the elephants. Now the mandrill monkeys, you'll see a couple up there on the cliff on the left there. They are the most colorful monkey in Africa. Not to mention the shyest. Males can actually can weigh up to 100 pounds, and they are the most colorful of the two. There's an elephant out in the distance, but we'll see some a little closer up.
Now he might step up on that stone to reach something he wants on that cliff.
The male and females do have tusks. Unfortunately, they are hunted and killed for those ivory tusks. Poachers are a big problem for the elephants, as well as humans moving into the animals' habitats. It's causing some pretty dangerous interactions for the elephants. As we travel through here, we're about to enter the areas where the elephants are most prominent. We can enter through the clay pits. Now the clay pits are where the elephants like to come in, they'll dig out the clay, they'll actually eat the clay, and that's how they're able to get their minerals for the day. Now you can see the tusk marks in there and the footprints where they've dug out the clay. Now keep your eyes up and you'll see more. Now there are things that we can do to help these beautiful creatures' survival, and that is recycle those old cell phones, support local conservation efforts, and educate yourselves on how to better protect these animals. Speaking of education, our scientists are actually studying their vocal patterns. Elephants have a variety of vocal patterns to mean different things. We're also about to see a baby elephant in just a moment. Now, baby elephants do stay with their moms for about 15 years, making it the second longest childhood, only second to us, the Homo sapiens, the humans. Now, at birth, baby elephants weigh up to around 300 pounds. Now, this one is probably about 7 or 8 months old now, so it probably weighs close to 800 pounds. And the littlest one is all the way in the back there. Now, the herd is mainly females with a few small males, because once the males become juveniles, they actually leave the herd and travel in bachelor groups or travel on their own. So the only herd of elephants you'll ever see are going to be female herd elephants with